Sometimes question can be a little bouncer. ठीक है, एक्चुअली क्वेश्चन बाउंसर नहीं होता है, वो आपको लगता है, because you are not able to interpret the spirit of the question, or maybe you did not develop the interconnections between the two, right? Like I have given you one question that was the artisan tribes of Jharkhand. Question was very easy, but people lack lens to look, to understand, and to interpret the question. That's the problem. So similarly, today we'll be talking about some ideas of political organization and how two concepts can be interconnected and how we can address any bouncing question. Okay, so let's talk about the question that see the relationship between language and power. Language and power. You all know what is power. ठीक है? And language is a means of communication, right? And language reflects the power hierarchies. When we speak something, when we say something, so it reflects the hierarchies, isn't it? The gender hierarchies, the class hierarchies, the caste hierarchies, सब कुछ रिफ्लेक्ट होता है. तो लैंग्वेज क्या करता है? पावर हियरार्कीज को रिफ्लेक्ट करता है ना? और लैंग्वेज के थ्रू पावर जो है वो एक्सरसाइज भी हो रही होती है ना? लैंग्वेज रिफ्लेक्ट कर रहा है पावर हियरार्कीज को, और कहीं ना कहीं लैंग्वेज इज अ सोर्स टू demonstrate also. It can be used as a force in itself. It can suppress people. है ना? कैसे? नहीं, लैंग्वेज के थ्रू पावर कैसे रिफ्लेक्ट हो रही है पहले वो वाली बात करते हैं, और लैंग्वेज कैसे पावर को डेमोन्स्ट्रेट, मतलब कैसे दबा रही है दूसरे को. असर्टिवनेस इन लैंग्वेज, मतलब पॉलिटिशियंस एक पर्टिकुलर लैंग्वेज यूज करते हैं. कोई भी पॉलिटिशियन होता है, दे आर यूजिंग अ पर्टिकुलर लैंग्वेज, राइट? नाउ व्हाट इज राइट एंड व्हाट इज रॉन्ग वी नो थ्रू लैंग्वेज ओनली. The discourses, the discussions on topic shape our ideas. That showcases what is, you can say, authoritative, what is not authoritative. So how we can see the relationship between language and power? So in the introduction you say that it has intricate relationship. On one hand, language reflect the power hierarchies, and on the other hand, language is the source of power. ठीक है? Language is the source of power. So that could be your introduction. The relationship between language and power can be understood through the following examples. So उसके बाद it could be understood through the following examples. ठीक है? So number one, Michel Foucault. Michel Foucault examined the relationship between discourse and power. discourse and power. Discourse means discussion on anything, discussion on gender, discussion on anything, right? So state and the institutions of state, they basically channelize many discussions. What is appropriate, what is inappropriate, right? What is right, what is not right, who is superior, who is inferior, ठीक है? Who is a criminal, who is not, that is told by the discourses, the discussions, right? डिस्कशन मतलब एक तरह का एक आइडिया प्रोपेगेट करता है स्टेट, समझ में आया? डिस्कोर्सेस से हमें पता लगता है कि जेंडर कौन कौन से हैं, दो हैं कि एक है. डिस्कोर्स से पता लगता है कि कौन बीमार है, कौन बीमार नहीं है. कौन बताता है बीमार है कि नहीं है? डॉक्टर बताता है ना. डॉक्टर बता रहा होता है ना कि कौन बीमार है कौन बीमार नहीं है. Isn't it? So that way you see the discourse and power. ठीक है. Next. Next is language and caste power. So, एक स्कॉलर है पोल ब्रास, ही स्टडीड कालापुर विलेज इन यूपी. Kalapur village in UP, and he says that there are differences in the vocabulary of the untouchables and the higher castes. There are differences in the vocabulary of the untouchables and the higher castes. ठीक है, पोल ब्रास का आइडिया है. कहां पे स्टडी किया इन्होंने? कालापुर विलेज, यूपी. ठीक है, कालापुर खालापुर है बेसिकली, है ना, वो कालापुर हो गया धीरे धीरे, खालापुर विलेज है. अंग्रेजी बोल बोल के मेरा भी एच गायब हो गया. ठीक है, खालापुर. नाउ सिमिलरली यू माइट हैव heard about the concept of Sanskritization. What is Sanskritization? So what is imitated by the lower caste? Everything, including language. The lower caste imitate the behavior of the upper caste. So what is the behavior? Everything. What kind of rituals, what kind of clothing, the way of speaking also. So the language is also imitated by the lower caste. So example here, another example would be Sanskritization. ब्रैकेट में MN श्रीनिवास. ठीक है. थर्ड, लैंग्वेज एंड क्लास पावर. लैंग्वेज एंड class power. So William Labov, Labov, William Labov studied the pronunciation of R among various classes of New York. Are among various classes of New York. New York. ठीक है. So R is pronounced by the upper class. R is pronounced by the upper class. What would the upper class people say? वो एक डिपार्टमेंटल स्टोर में गए और उन्होंने बोला लोगों को that this kind of goods where I can get. So the shopkeeper, they would say, on the 4th floor, on the 3rd floor. ठीक है. Then you would say, sorry, the way our friend was doing, so that एक second refined response लिया जा सके. Right? And they would say, second floor. That means those who are working in the departmental stores, they are naturally not elites. They are not pronouncing R. Right? But the upper classes are pronouncing R. ठीक है? So not pronounced. Lower class does not pronounce R. Upper class do pronounce R. The middle class in the informal settings does not pronounce R. In the formal settings do pronounce R. समझ में आ गया? That was his observation, that how this pronunciation of R varies among different classes. ठीक है. अब आपको लग रहा होगा यहां पे पावर कहां से आ रहा है? The upper classes, they use highly sophisticated language. Right? That's what we call ideal. They are close to the ideal. And when they say so, floor, car, right? So in that way, they are exhibiting that we are superior. Right? We are the reference group for others, imitators. समझ में आया? So that's what the study of William Labov is among the departmental stores and other places of New York City. 1960s में स्टडी हुई थी, बहुत ही फिनोमिनल स्टडी है. Now, similarly, John Fisher studied children from New England, and these children in informal interviews would say singing, fishing, whereas in formal interviews they would say singing and fishing. ठीक है? And the same goes with the upper class and lower class children also. The upper class would use proper nouns. ये आधा अधूरा बोलेंगे. ठीक है? The same goes for upper class and lower class children also. अभी यहां पे आपको अथॉरिटी कहां दिख रही है? जब फॉर्मल सेटिंग में है तो वो अथॉरिटी के सामने प्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं अपने आप को. There they have to exhibit the एप्रोप्रिएट बिहेवियर, पावर रिलेशन दिख रहा है कि कौन सी लैंग्वेज कब यूज हो रही है। आपस में बात कर रहे हैं, सिंगिंग, फिशिंग, राइट, अदरवाइज फिशिंग, सिंगिंग, ठीक है। तो पावर किसकी है? अगर मान लिया फॉर्मल इंटरव्यू किसके सामने होगा, टीचर के सामने या किसी और XYZ के सामने, ये आपस में बात कर रहे हैं बच्चे, आपस में बात करते टाइम तो वो ऐसे ही करेंगे। नॉर्मली आप जाके बात करोगे तो ऐसे ही करेंगे, आपको भाव नहीं देंगे। टीचर आएगा तभी अप्रोप्रिएट बिहेवियर होगा, तो पावर रिलेशंस आते हैं, ठीक है। सिमिलरली एक स्टडी है क्लिफोर्ड गीट्स की, हाँ जी, न्यू इंग्लैंड की, क्लिफोर्ड गीट्स। Clifford Geertz studied the Balinese society, okay, and he saw that in Balinese society there were three groups: the peasants, the townspeople, and the aristocratic class. Right? All these three group of people in Balinese society, they use different word, different term for now. ठीक है? So the first group use the psyche, मतलब नाव को बोलने के लिए साइकी, ये बोलेंगे सानी की, और ये लोग बोलेंगे सामानिका। साइकी, सानिकी एंड सामानिका, सेम चीज को ये अलग अलग तरीके से बोल रहे हैं, राइट। सो अगेन हाउ अरिस्टोक्रेट्स आर प्रोनाउंसिंग इट, they are exhibiting power through the language, ठीक है। नेक्स्ट, एक एंटोनियो ग्रामसी का भी कॉन्सेप्ट लगा सकते हैं। कितना पॉइंट हो गया? 6 और 7, 7th पॉइंट हो गए। सो ग्रामसी, concept of hegemony, right? The passive acceptance of the weaker sections is reflected through their language. Passive acceptance of weaker sections is reflected through their language. Say for example, G, hukum. समझ में आ गया? The passive acceptance of the weaker section is reflected through language. G, हुकुम होता है ना हमारे यहाँ पे, राजस्थान में हुकुम बोलते हैं, एंड स्पेशली जो वीकर सेक्शन होगा वो जो भी डोमिनेंट होगा उसको हुकुम बोलेगा. दैट मीन्स इट्स पावर दैट इज रिफ्लेक्टेड. ठीक है. ओके, नेक्स्ट you can use the idea of Spivak, Gayatri Spivak. Can subaltern speak? Can the subaltern speak? So in this book she talks about suppression of the voices. She talks about the suppression of the voices of the weaker section. Suppression of the voices of the weaker sections, marginalized groups, and that she terms as epistemic violence. And it also reflects the power relations. ठीक है? Done? Next. The James Scott weapons of weak. ठीक है. The hidden script that is foot dragging, feigning ignorance, etc. is the language of protest against power. Hidden script, that is foot dragging, feigning ignorance, is the language of protest against the power. ठीक है. Deobra Tannen, this is not what I meant. Deobra Tannen highlights the differences in the language use, through क्या लिखा आपने? Highlights the differences in the language use, not through, in her book. This is not what I meant. Between men and women. Men and women. Men talks directly. And try to dominate. Men talks directly and try to dominate. Women talk indirectly and try to accommodate. है ना? Men would say hello and the women would say hi. Right? So there's a difference. एक assert कर रहा है hello और एक hi, so there's accommodation, isn't it? But hi में बात खत्म करो, चलो, isn't it? अगर इसको किसी को दोस्त को अपने पार्टी में लेके जाना होगा तो बोलेगा कि चलो खाने चलते हैं. मैसेज इज क्लियर. द गर्ल वुड से क्या आप चलना चाहोगे? वुड यू लाइक टू गो? So she is asking, she is not commanding, right? So there are differences in the communication and that reflect the power. ठीक है. सो दीज आर वेरियस एग्जाम्पल्स दैट यू कैन यूज, राइट. हमने 8-10 एग्जाम्पल कर लिया, बहुत है इतना भी अपने अगर याद रख लिया तो.